What if I told you there was a way to boost your cardiovascular health, reduce your risk of chronic disease, increase your bone density and athletic performance, lose fat and improve your body composition, all in just 15 minutes a day? You'd probably think that it sounds too good to be true, but with just a rope and a small consistent time investment over a long enough period, you absolutely can. Keep watching to find out how. Jump rope became a part of my daily life around the time I started my Muay Thai journey. Having spent countless hours over the past 2 years jumping rope, I've learned a lot about the benefits and downsides to this unique form of exercise. Fighters use jump rope to develop their fitness and conditioning, build footwork and coordination, to cut weight, and to build speed and overall athleticism that will transfer directly to your sport performance. Jump rope is especially important for Muay Thai fighters, as the repetitive impact has been shown to build bone density, which reduces the risk of injury when kicking and checking. This can help reduce the dreaded injury seen when an athlete breaks their shin, and just reduce the overall damage taken when checking and kicking. During the first 6 months I started to jump rope, I had to deal with some of the worst shin splints I've ever dealt with in my life. Although this was painful and honestly mentally draining at times, over time my shins have healed up and hardened to the point that I can now skip, kick the heavy bag, and spar for multiple hours a day without getting bruised up or dealing with the same amount of soreness that I was when my body was still squishy and adapting to the added stimulus. If you are just starting out or going through this right now, then let me assure you that this does get better over time. Just take care that you're getting adequate protein in your diet so that you are recovering in time for your next session. I also recommend trying to get at least 1 day of full recovery per week where you aren't doing anything high impact to give your shins the best chance possible to heal up stronger before the next session. Not only is maintaining bone density important for combat athletes, it is also extremely important for the aging population, as a decline in bone density leads to undesirable injuries and increases mortality rates. If you are older, you might be skeptical around whether a high impact activity like jumping rope is doing more harm than good. For those with pre-existing injuries or degenerative bone conditions, you're likely better off incorporating some strength training to improve bone density and maintain muscle mass. However, for the general aging population, skipping is perfectly fine and will benefit you in all the same ways. It might simply be the case that your body just needs an extra couple days of recovery in between sessions. But don't let that discourage you. Over time, as you develop the proper technique, which involves feathering your feet just above the ground when you jump, you'll experience far less impact than you would running anyway. Jump rope is also an extremely effective way of burning calories, and has been shown to be as effective, if not more effective, than running for similar amounts of time. The novelty of having skills to build on and incorporating a mix of coordination and timing makes it an engaging activity for all levels. The barrier of entry is also extremely low, as all you really need is a rope. You can technically skip without a rope or purchase a ropeless jump rope, so you still have the benefit of holding some resistance. While this is a great option if you're skipping in a smaller space with confined ceiling heights, I found it doesn't have the same level of satisfaction to it, as you won't get the auditory cue of the rope hitting the ground and swinging past you, which, after some time when the skill becomes more autonomous, puts you in a trance-like flow state, where sessions become more enjoyable, as 15 minutes starts to feel more like 5 when in a flow state. I break my skipping rounds up into 3 minutes and do 5 rounds a day consecutively. The first 2 minutes of the round involves skipping at a regular pace. During this time you should be able to hit a steady state, meaning you can still breathe through the nose comfortably and could hold a conversation if you had to. You should also be able to incorporate or start learning some different skills during this 2 minutes. For the final minute of the round, I pick up the pace and run on the spot as intensely as I can. The goal here is to get the heart rate up and make it more of a high intensity session. This simulates many sports that require high intense bursts of activity, as well as periods of more steady state cardiovascular work. This type of exercise is known as high intensity interval training. If you happen to miss a skip at any point of the round, then drop down and do 10 push-ups or squats or sit-ups. This incorporates some added resistance work, making it an effective all-round workout that takes no longer than 15 minutes a day. Instead of resting between rounds, Try to just drop the pace down during the first 2 minutes to get back to a comfortable steady state before upping the intensity of the last minute of the round, so that you stay moving and keep the heart rate elevated for the entire 15 minutes. This might not be achievable as a beginner, but stay consistent and at least make it a goal to work toward. Skipping can boost your overall cardiovascular health, reduce your risk of chronic disease, increase your bone density and overall athletic performance, help you to lose fat and improve your body composition all in 15 minutes a day. I challenge all of you to try it out consistently for a month and check back into this video once the experiment is done and let me know the changes that you experienced. As always, if you have any questions, comments or abuse, then drop them down below. Cheers.